Hello, scholars. This is me, Dr. Joseph Ejike Oji. Today, the course I'm be teaching you guys today is supply chain and operational management. Our focus today will be on productivity. Before I begin, I think I'm gonna close some pages. I opened a lot of pages by mistake. So let me close some of them so that we have enough room to work. What else? Yeah, opened a lot of pages. I'm gonna close this one as well. Good. I think one more, actually two more. Close this one as well. And this one as well. All right. I think we're good to go. Productivity. Now, the examples, those of you in my class, the examples I'll give today, you can use watch this movie and use them as a guide for solving questions. Some of the questions on the quiz, on the test that you will have this weekend. Anyway, I'm going to do several of them. This one is for focus only on productivity. Productivity simply means a measure of the effective use of resources. Usually, we express it as a ratio of output to input. So you can see from here, the formula, simplest formula for productivity, quantity of output divided by quantity of input. Remember, we can calculate this productivity for a corporation, a small business, a government agency, even for a country. So, bottom line that when a firm is productive, they make more money, through sales. Now, productive activities are regarded everywhere as the foundation of a country's economic system. So when the corporations or businesses in the country are productive, that can translate into more sales. And what does more sales means? More tax revenue for the government in form of sales tax. It also means more jobs, which means also even more increase in income tax revenue as well. So, and there's so many benefits of productivity. Being productive, to say. So, in other words, productivity transforms human material, capital, information, and other resources into higher values, goods, and services. Okay? Now, there are two types. We have single factor productivity, whereby the focus is on one input, using one input to measure productivity. For example, if you're analyzing labor productivity, you could calculate the output produced per labor hour, things like that. So, this particular measure, which is actually the one we'll be focusing on tonight, it's usually very useful when you want to isolate and evaluate the efficiency of a particular, variable. Now, so in other words, single factor productivity shows us a basic, help us to understand how efficiently a resource is being used by a company or a corporation or a country, Make sure, this, okay? So now, there's multi-factor productivity. In this case, we measure the output relative to a combination of factors such as labor, capital, and materials. So using the multi-factor productivity, we can have a comprehensive view of overall efficiency, when we consider the interplay of these multiple resources. So in plain terms, multi-factor productivity takes into account multiple inputs, labor, capital, materials, etc., to measure productivity. And, we use it especially when we want to measure, or when we want to have a broad view of efficiency, by showing how well a combination of resources is useful, to produce an output, to generate an output. That's the best way to put it. Now let's look at some. Like I said, this tonight we'll be focusing more on single factor productivity. So let me let's see. Let me show you some of the formula we use. The first one is this one, productivity, which is value of inputs divided by value of outputs. Sorry, value of outputs divided by value of the inputs. You can also calculate it this way. Productivity equals output of number of customers served divided by input of number of customers worked. So I've shown you these three. Let's try 2 examples. It says an accounting firm generates services valued at $80,000 per day and has a total cost of $50,000 per day. What is a simple measure of its productivity? So how do we do that? Let us put this, calculate this, the productivity of this accounting firm. To make it easy for us, we're going to use Excel. So I'm going to put all this information inside Excel. Say that the services they generated, which is the output, is $80,000. So taking you to Excel, okay. See, I have $80,000. Okay, make it of course it's a dollar sign. Then cost of the input. You see that according to the question, it costs the firm, say, and has the total cost of $50,000 per day. This is output they generate per day, $80,000, and it costs them $50,000 per day to generate this output. So I'm going to put $50,000 there as well. $50,000. Okay, I'll make it $1. So that the productivity, the question asks us to what is a simple measure of its productivity. To calculate its productivity, we just use this formula here. Okay, is the value of value of output divided by value of inputs. Okay, which is the equals value of output is right here, divided by, of course, to divide, use a / in Excel, value of inputs, then press the enter key, give you the 1.6 is the productivity. 1.6. Okay, what does that mean? It means that this the accounting firm generates $1.60 in services for every $1 that they spent on costs. And this indicates that they use their resources efficiently because 1.6 is of course bigger than 1. You see, so that's what it means. And this is the simplest way to calculate productivity. And let's do another example that a little variation of this, a little more challenging. Okay. We're going to do that now. So let's go to the next slide. This is the slide where this is the question, where the question is located. Okay. Now it says Sterling Savings Bank, not going to call it bank. Savings Bank. Okay. Uses let me put the question. Savings Bank uses customers served. Okay, Sterling Savings Bank uses customers served per hour by a teller as a measure of its productivity. So the bank uses customers served as per hour. How many customers who are served per hour as a measure of their productivity? So during the past week, the savings institution, the institution's 5 tellers, 5 tellers have 5 tellers. Okay, served a total of 2,395 customers. Business hours are between 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Compute the productivity measure of these tellers. Again, the person needs to put our information in. Now they have 5 tellers and they serve 2,395 customers. Let's see, let's start from there. Let me write it down. 2,395 customers they served. So they have 5 tellers, right? Let's go and put in Excel. Got number of, see, output of number of customers served 2,395. Okay, customers, and they have 5 tellers. So now, according to that question, it says that business hours are from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., if you calculate the number of hours they work per day, 10, okay, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 hours per day. We're working 6 hours per day. So I'm going to go and put it right there. Number of hours worked per day is 6 hours. So, and of course, number of days in a week, working days in a week for that bank. We assume that it didn't say it here, but yeah, it didn't say it here in the equation. But we assume that it's 5 days. They didn't put overtime. They just say 5 days. So work day is 5 days, except if some bank work certain days. But since they didn't tell us anything here, we assume that it's 5 days a week they work. Okay, say 5 days. So with that, we can now calculate the productivity. Number of hours worked by each teller per week will be each teller will be so number of by each teller. Okay, working 6 days. Number of hours worked per day is 6 days. How many days in a week? 5 days. So number of hours worked by each teller will be 6 days a week work, 6 hours per day work times number of days in a week, which is 5 days. That gives me 30 hours. With this, we can find the number of hours worked. I mean, total number of hours they worked. Yeah, which will give us the input. So total hours work will be equal. Let me show you the formula here. I think I have it here. You can see right here. See, number of tellers times 30 hours per week per teller. So you see equals number of tellers. They have 5 tellers times number of hours worked for by each teller per week. We start when you press the enter key, give me the 150 hours. Total hours worked by all the 5 tellers within the week. So the productivities, as you already know, will be let me move this away so we can get the formula for productivity for you. This is the formula for this kind of for service sector. See, for this particular bank, they're using the number of customers served as their productivity. So in that case, or in this case, it means that productivity for here means output of number of hours. So output of the number of customers served and input of number of hours worked. So we are told that they serve 2,395 customers, and they work a total of 150 hours a week. So so that means productivity will now become equal output of number of customers served divided by the total hours worked, which is 15.96. So if you run this, you're gonna give you approximately 16 hours. I mean, it's 16. Let me round it and see. Yep, 16. Okay. What does this means? They worked, their productivity is 16. That means that each teller at the Sterling Savings Bank serves approximately 16 customers per hour. That's what it means. They serve approximately 16 customers per hour. That's their productivity. I hope you enjoyed the lecture. And in the next one, I'm going to look at, we'll be looking at the multi-factor productivity. Then after that, we now take a look at percentage, productivity, which will now lead us to a new topic, which will be forecasting using moving averages. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in a couple of hours. Thank you. Bye-bye.